What's up, Cowboy Nation? Want to be able to talk to you guys briefly on Jaylon Smith. He showed up on First Take today, and he was just talking about in general of like when Stephen A. Smith asked him questions about how in the world did Ezekiel Elliott not get over 50 yards. And he was talking about the core. Jaylon Smith was talking about the core. He was saying that pretty much the Rams beat us in the core. That's Sue. He didn't mention number 99. He didn't mention Aaron Donald. He mentioned Sue. He mentioned Sue. So in order for us to flip this thing around, Cowboy Nation, we got to go back to the core. If you can stop the run, and you can minimize teams, or I guess subject teams to just pass the ball, then you can win games. It's all about the core. Now, one can argue the fact that maybe, just maybe, if we had David Irving and things like that, that's just like spilled milk, right? Nothing we can do about that. The kid just didn't love football and things of that nature. But I would say in the draft, you figure out a way, or during free agency, you figure out a way to strengthen your core. Now, another thing that I would like to point out too is that a lot of times we're looking at what the LA Rams are able to do. They made some plays during free agency. They had the money, they had the cachet, or what have you. So I'm thinking in my little small mind that now we got money. So we can make moves happening. We can make things happening now because we got money. And we have zero excuses now to go out there and at least make one or two free agent moves. You don't have to go crazy. And we can sign our own guys, of course. But it's time for us to get some playmakers out there on the defensive side of the ball and see if we can get just one more dynamic player on the offense. That will help this team out tremendously. Now, Stephen A. Smith, I'm going to have to talk about this just a little bit. He did throw a jab at us fans. He said we have a horrible fan base and things like that. And shout out to Jaylon Smith. He looked good. So hopefully look a little later on today or tomorrow, I can just do a little replay of the First Take or what have you. So you guys can see, or if you just check into First Take, and you'll see how Jaylon Smith held up for his own. Very knowledgeable of the game. They praised him most of the time. And the guy, what, he had second leader in tackles, four fumbles, right? Two fumbles returned. Boy had some stats, man. And 4 sacks, something like that. 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. I can't remember the stats. I think it's 4 forced fumbles. Something like that. You guys can correct me down below. But neither here nor there. Jaylon Smith on First Take. My overall thought of everything. Boy, clean, you dress sharp. But my overall take on everything was that he's gonna be this linebacking core. They're gonna be dynamic, and they talked about LVE. Stephen A. Smith was talking about the fact that we have the best tandem in the NFL, which I can say yes, we do. And hopefully, if we can just get some things to happen during this off season, man. And I trust in Will McClay to find just that 1 or 2 guys that can be explosive. And trust me, we can get there, Cowboy Nation. Remember, one day at a time, one off-season move at a time, one free agent pick at a time, one draft pick at a time. We'll figure out ways to make this team better. He talked about, okay, and they got to talk about this too. Jaylon Smith, he also talked about the Jason Garretts of the world and how we feel about Jason Garrett. And also he talked about the offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore. He talked a little bit about that. So hopefully, man, they're going to pick up things in the right direction. They're going to get things going in the right parameters. But we'll figure out this thing one way or another. That's all the time that I have for right now. I really appreciate each and every last one of you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Salute. I'm out. Peace.